Hello friends, I'm Tom Downey. Once again alongside me is Mitchell Renz. Let's talk about some NFL free agents. The franchise tag decisions have been made. We're about a week away from the anti-tampering period, aka this is when you can negotiate deals with players. So we've updated our top 25 NFL free agents. We'll break them down, throw out some possible destinations for these players as well. First up is Adam Humphries, and Mitch, I think he's going to get $10 million a year. My lovely Adam Lumps. How long did you have that queued up?
Actually, it just came top of my head. But
sure.
25 years old, coming off a breakout year. For me, though, the thing is the Buccaneers, Bruce Arians, they kind of want to keep him. And I think, a team has to put down a second-round tender on Humphries if they want to get him. So I don't necessarily know if he's going to get 10 to 14. He's had a pretty good year, though.
I think he'll get it there. All right, number 24, HaHa Clinton Dix, a former first-round pick. Has been a little up and down for Green Bay and for the Redskins as well, but it's a deep safety class.
Can't say up and down with Clinton Dix.
Just did, too bad.
All right, we'll move on to the next player here. Number 23, BRYCE CALLAHAN, and I think he's one of the more underrated cornerbacks on the free agent market because I hear some other names out there, but he's the number one cornerback, or at least he's over Ronald Darby in my opinion.
I agree. The big potential red flag here for CALLAHAN, he is a nickel corner, and we've seen nickel slot corner types get paid a lot of money and then kind of regress once they get out of scheme.
He's also on a really good defense right now, so
absolutely.
That helps. All right, let's go to number 22, JAWUAN James.
If you need a right tackle, I would suggest him. There are other solid tackles available in this year's class.
The injuries don't worry you?
They do.
Okay.
I didn't say throw $100 million at him. I said if you need a right tackle, you should investigate into James.
What if it was LeBron James?
This doesn't matter. What?
LeBron James. Bad joke. All right, move on to 21.
I remain convinced that Teddy Bridgewater can be a franchise quarterback. I remain convinced
that
really
maybe
good.
you guys have something going on the side, because that's the only thing I can think of why you love
good.
Teddy. He is good.
Thank you.
But he's not a franchise quarterback anymore. When he first came out of Louisville, yes. And then his knee basically just broke.
Yeah.
And now he's not. He's not mobile like not saying that all Teddy was before was mobile, because he wasn't. He was a good pocket passer. Okay. But I think that you got something going on with Teddy. Okay. And if you want to tell everyone watching, now's the time to do it.
$25 million for Nick Foles or $16 for Teddy Bridgewater.
You're probably going to hate my answer.
Oh, you're going to say.
And if you want to know, hit me up on IG or Twitter at MitchellRenz365.
We'll move to number 20 then, linebacker Preston Smith. I think he could get a big deal. For teams that miss out on the premier edge rushers or had their hearts set on DeMarcus Lawrence or Frank Clark or Dee Ford or Jadeveon Clowney, Preston Smith is a really good fallback option.
Sure. Here's the only. Are you going to give him $11 million a year? Because that's what he's looking for.
Welcome to free agency. If you're involved in free agency, you just got to pay.
But I don't. So $11 million. You're giving it to Preston Smith? Yes or no?
If I need an edge rusher, yeah, I would strongly consider it.
Okay.
You got to pay dudes. You can't just find bargain buys for every single option.
Go to the dollar store, Goodwill. Trent Brown, you're up next, my man. Number 19 on our list.
Now this dude's about to get paid in a big way.
He should.
I mean, we saw what Donovan Smith got from the BUCS. And Trent Brown is a vastly better offensive lineman than Donovan Smith.
Heck, I think he's better than Nate Soldier, who got paid.
I don't necessarily disagree with that either. So I think there are a little bit of some focus concerns for Trent Brown, but he is going to get paid in a big way. It's not going to be with the Patriots. It'll be with somebody else, but several teams are in the market for lineman help. Trent Brown's going to be up there as one of the top guys.
Also, a lot of teams in the market for a running back, and I absolutely love Tevin Coleman. He comes up here, number 18 on our list. I'll tell you what, when given the chance, Tevin Coleman produced in 2018. I mean, he averaged 4.8 yards per carry, 800 rushing yards, but he's also able to catch the ball. Now imagine if he was able to, I don't know, have a good offensive coordinator who could maybe get him the ball a little bit more.
It's okay, they brought him.
Oh wait, yeah, he's gone. He doesn't have a job anymore. But Tom, I broke down top 5 destinations for Tevin Coleman. Mm-hmm. I did this a little bit about a week ago on our show, but I have updated my rankings. These are my rankings. What do you think of them?
I think you're too high on Tampa.
You think I'm too high on
Tampa?
Tampa?
That's my initial thought, yeah.
Okay.
You're too high on Tampa.
Too high on Tampa.
I kind of figure Tevin Coleman goes to whichever team wants Lev Bell but doesn't get him, so the Jets or the Raiders.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
I would love Tevin Coleman to go to the Raiders. Give me that. That's a dream team right there.
All right, folks, where do you think Tevin Coleman will play? You saw Mitchell's list there. I think Jets or Raiders make a lot of sense there. There'll be some interest in him, for sure.
I like him. I think with a fit with the Texans a lot. Maybe
I agree.
Maybe that's just like a dream of mine for him to go there
like
because Lamar
fit.
Miller, he stinks.
Yeah.
And they need to get rid of him. Tevin Coleman, Deshaun Watson, Hopkins. Woo! Let's get it going.
All right, number 17 will stick on offense. DARYL Williams, again, as we mentioned earlier and have mentioned multiple times, the Bills and the Giants make a lot of sense here, Mitch.
Well, when you need offensive line help, that makes sense. When you have a quarterback like Josh Allen, who technically runs, I think, better than what he can pass, and Eli, I don't know if Eli could get away from a 5-year-old defensive end at this point. He is pathetic when anybody gets near him.
Tell us how you really feel there. Either way, DARYL Williams has ties because of the Panthers organization with the Giants and the Bills. I think that's a good fit there. He'll get paid as a right tackle. Number 16, Sheldon Richardson signed a 1-year deal with the Vikings last year. Had a solid team. Again, he's not a 10-sack defensive lineman. That's not who he is. But he did have more sacks last year than the previous 2 years combined. That's a good sign right there.
Yeah, I think Sheldon Richardson's one of those players who's not going to fill up the stat sheet, but he makes a big impact in the game. He's a big dude. He's going to clog up the middle. He's going to force people to double team him, let your other defenders get after him. But there was something going on with the Vikings last year. I think when you look at all the teams in the NFL,
It's the offensive line.
But I think Sheldon Richardson in that defense, you could also argue, is one of the most disappointing units
they were not as good
in the entire league.
That's fair. I mean, they dealt with a lot of stuff there with involving Everson Griffin, some other injuries as well, which I think was a big impact there.
What the heck they're going to do with Barr now?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be back. We'll get to him here in a little bit. But let's recap some of those free agents there. You see 25 through 21 on your screen. 20 through 19, Preston Smith is the one that jumps out to me. We know edges get paid. I think he's in for a big payday.
So the one that I want to know is Tevin Coleman. Where's Tevin Coleman going to go?
Guy.
I am a fantasy guy. I think I'm your fantasy guy too. And I got a fantasy deal for you from BetDSI.
Nice segue,
Go to chatsports.com/bet and use that promo code LIVE120 for 120% deposit bonus. Tom, if I put down $50,
you get 60 for free.
If I put down $100,
120.
If I put down $500,
600. Thank you for not doing hard math.
Try not to do anything hard here on the show. Go to chatsports.com/bet. Let's go to number 15.
Matt Paradis, the center from the Denver Broncos, only played 9 games this year because of injury, but he is one of the better centers in the NFL. Denver is going to let him test the open market because the franchise tag just would have been too much. It would have been like 15 million. They couldn't afford that, but there are several center-needy teams out there. You could see Paradis getting poached. And if that happens, Denver, they're in a rough spot at center.
They are in a rough spot. Maybe, just maybe, they shouldn't have maybe signed a quarterback to 2 years, $36 million, and then get the exact same one.
Yeah, they're still trying to trade Case Keenum.
Oh, wait.
At
they did do that.
At some point, I think they'll just have to cut him outright because they can't afford to pay Flacco and Keenum #1 starter money combined. Doesn't make any sense.
Good job, Denver.
All right, number 14, Mark Ingram, who did have a lighter workload in 2018, but he's still Mark Ingram.
Yep.
Where does he go? Does he try to stick in New Orleans to win a Super Bowl to pair with his buddy Alvin Kamara? Or does he say, you know what, I want to be a featured back somewhere?
I think he wants to be a featured back, but one of the great things that he has the opportunity to do in New Orleans is kind of be that 1B. And I think he's looking at himself, he's like, all right, I'm 30 years old. I'm getting ready now to, maybe my NFL career is going to be over soon. I want to win a Super Bowl. Here's the thing. Mark Ingram, I still think, is one of the better running backs in the NFL, and he showed that last year, and he showed it the 2 years before that, over 1,000 rushing yards. Like, he may not be the main guy with Kamara there, but he also sees the offensive line, that offense in general. And I think you and I would both agree the Saints, I mean, they're my favorite to win the
fantastic
NFC.
Team.
So that's why he's #1 on my board, to Mark Ingram, going to the Saints. Tom, what do you think of my top 5 teams for Marky Ingram?
You've gone rogue with the Jags on there.
So here's my theory with the Jags.
Okay.
They don't. DJ Yeldon going to hit the free agent market.
He'll be gone.
Leonard Fournette, they did not quite get along. He sat out at the end of the year. Maybe if they move on from Fournette,
Okay, if that happens,
they knock on Mark Ingram's door. I think, hey, the fit kind of makes sense. But for me, it's the top 2 teams, Saints and Ravens.
I don't know if the Ravens ever want to invest big money in a back. They literally
Who's their running back right now?
They just proved because they brought in Gus Edwards off the street.
Gus
An
Edwards.
undrafted free agent from Rutgers, and looked solid.
I think the reason why Gus Edwards looks solid is because of the mobile quarterback Lamar Jackson.
It's fine. Maybe you don't need to invest in a big back then. Plus, you got Kenneth Dixon, who still is on my fantasy dynasty team. Anyway,
Dixon.
number 13, KJ Wright, a very good linebacker now. Kind of bad timing for his injury. Played only 5 games, going to turn 30. But the previous 4 years, a tackling machine alongside Bobby Wagner.
I think it's kind of unfortunate, like you said, for KJ Wright. And unfortunately, it's also this free agent market is stacked with defensive help. So I think KJ is going to get paid. I think he should get paid. Again, I mean, he's been unbelievably productive.
I think he re-ups in Seattle.
Yeah?
I think he absolutely does, because I don't think they want to hand things over to Shaquem Griffin quite yet at that weak side spot. So he and Bob Wagner, I think, will stick around. They already franchise tagged Frank Clark. We'll get to Earl Thomas later on. Number 12, Golden Tate, one of the top offensive players here on the list. And yes, he's going to turn 31 years old.
That's okay.
And yeah, the Eagles give up a third-round pick for him. And yeah, he wasn't quite as good with Philadelphia. He's still a really good player. My fear is he ends up in New England, because that's just not fair. I don't want him in New England.
I would love him in New England. Well, if I'm going to be selfish, I want him to go to New England because I put down money on chatsports.com/bet for the Patriots to go back to the Super Bowl.
That's fair.
Yeah, and if he goes there, that is a perfect fit. And he tweeted out that, hey, I want to go to the Patriots. And I mean, you're talking about a receiver who in 2017, 2016 led the league in yards after the catch. And like you said before, didn't have the best year in 2018. I think it was more of a chemistry thing. Golden Tate is still a very good receiver. Mm-hmm. And if you need a solid slot receiver, which a lot of teams do.
He can play on the outside too.
Yeah, he's really good. I think he's going to be a team's 1B. So here are my top 5 teams for Golden Tate. Tom, initial reaction.
I like it. I think it's your best list so far.
Okay.
I like you putting Detroit on there because that's fun for me.
I would love for him to go back to Detroit.
That's fun for Golden Tate going back to Detroit and the Lions getting a third-round pick for 6 months
49ers I put on here because maybe they don't want to go out and get Mr. Big Chest and they go out and get Golden Tate.
I think Tate might be a better fit in the Shanahan scheme anyway. All right, number 11, back to defense, where we will spend most of our final players here. Adrian Amos, who I continuously says is one of the more underrated players in the NFL. Yeah, grammar. Amos and Eddie Jackson, I think, are a fantastic safety duo. The problem is the safety market was non-existent last year. Yep. There are a bunch of dudes that hit the open market. I don't know what the market is going to be like for them. That's going to be fascinating. And oh, by the way, the Bears don't have much money left.
No. I think, honestly, one of the reasons why Adrian Amos and Eddie Jackson got pushed down is because of the ridiculous hype around Khalil Mack. It was earned. Mm-hmm. But also, the Bears' defense, I think, was the best defense in the NFL as an entire whole last year. Mm-hmm. And one of the biggest reasons was because of Adrian Amos. And it kind of gets me angry that people are just sweeping him underneath the rug. Like, again, there's great names. Earl Thomas, Landon Collins. Mm-hmm. Spoiler, you're going to see him later on the show. And it's, I think, the reason why Adrian's so low on our list.
I think Eddie Jackson is still a better safety, but Amos is definitely going to draw, I think, quite a bit. Watch out for Denver here. They just cut one of their other safeties. Darian Stewart just got cut. So we'll see what happens there. Some other notable free agents that did not crack our top 25. Quan Alexander. I'm curious how his market ends up developing. Ziggy Ansah,
wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole.
Randall Cobb, I think he just ends up back in Green Bay. Then 2 linebackers, 1 off-ball, 1 edge. Jordan Hicks and Zadarius Smith, 2 very quality players.
The player that I would want on this list is Quan Alexander. I think he's really talented. Unfortunate injury, though.
All right, folks, make sure you are subscribed at youtube.com/chatsportstv. We'll keep you updated here throughout the NFL offseason. Of course, live draft coverage. And free agency is about to really get going here in the tampering period, and we'll keep you covered. We'll move to number 10, Ndamukong Suh, who might be facing his last big contract. He's getting up there.
Yeah, he's getting old.
He's 32.
I think he just kind of coasted his entire way through the NFL year, and then he tried to step it up in the playoffs to get paid again.
He did turn it on in the playoffs, by the way.
Yeah, he looked great. And
the Rams' entire defense finally turned it on.
I just think Suh's one of those players who just wants to get paid, and if I'm an NFL team,
it's a fair concern.
I don't want Ndamukong Suh anymore at this point in his career.
I am open, but it does have to be at the correct price.
And I guarantee you that guy's not taking a price cut.
That's very fair. Maybe he wants to stay in LA and continue to hang out with Aaron Donald and the celebrities and make a run at the Super Bowl once again. So where will Suh play in 2019? Let us know in the comment section. I'll pick the Rams. I'll go with them.
Yeah, that's probably who I'm going to end up going with too. I think the Rams need to figure out what they're going to do with a bunch of players. Mm-hmm. Mentioning probably the next guy coming up on our list. They need to figure out what they're going to do. If they're going to try to get back LaMarcus Joyner, I don't think he's coming back.
It'll be interesting. The Rams did not franchise tag anybody. They had several different options. Joyner is not, at least in my eyes, on the same level of Tyrann Mathieu, on the same level of even Landon Collins, Earl Thomas, in a very deep safety class. I wonder if you'll see teams wait to sign anybody, and if Joyner and others are kind of stuck playing the waiting game until one of them signs for maybe just a little bit less.
Yeah, I could definitely see that with Joyner, but we shall see. Going on now to number 8 on our list, Anthony Barr. And I think Anthony Barr is one of the most interesting players in free agency because, yes, he's a linebacker, but you told me this, go back and watch his tape at UCLA because he also played defensive end.
He's an edge rusher. And I am very curious to see how he is approached in free agency. Minnesota, I'm sure, would love to bring him back, but they're pretty tight on money right now. I could very much see a team saying, Anthony Barr, why don't you come play for us? And oh, by the way, we're going to make you into more of a pure edge rusher. I think in particular the 49ers would be a fantastic fit for Anthony Barr because you have enough big defensive linemen, Solomon Thomas, Eric Armstead, DeForest Buckner, sign an undersized guy, maybe add a little bit of weight there, and put him in as your 4-3 Leo type or a 3-4 outside linebacker.
Barr didn't have that solid of a year this past year, but again, I think a lot of Vikings disappointed. When you look and see like when Barr was, I think, at his best, it's when they kind of just let him be an athlete because I think Barr is one of the better athletes in the NFL at the defensive position, and I don't know what was going on in Minnesota. I'm going to call it the poison of Kirk Cousins, but it was ugly to watch. I want to see Barr be an athlete.
I think the Jets could make some sense as well.
Jets, the Raiders.
Yeah, all those make sense. Number 7, Tyrann Mathieu of the Houston Texans, who has made it very clear he is now ready to get paid.
He should.
He took, I thought, less than he maybe could have gotten to go to Houston, a fit he liked, and he had a very good year. And yes, there's an injury history. He wants big, big money, Mitch.
I think he should get it. I like the Honey Badger. I think he's one of the better players in the NFL, and he's, I think, a Swiss Army knife. And I think when I'm an NFL coach, I'm saying, okay, I can play him here, I can play him here. I like the Honey Badger a lot. The injuries do scare me a little bit.
Fair.
And again, it's the where's Collins going to go? Where's ET going to go? I mean, you've seen a lot of these other players, but the other thing with ET is he's got injury issues too.
Yeah, that's very fair. What shirt are you wearing, by the way?
Oh, I'm wearing a Mizzen and Main.
It's a good-looking shirt right there.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like it.
Solid 9? Solid 6? Put us together? You know the math. Go to comfortable.af. Check them out for yourself. Mizzen and Main, the best damn dress shirts on the planet. The website 100% checks out. Wear them to work, wear them to the gym, sleep in them, because Tom slept in his entire bachelor weekend.
That's very true.
Comfortable.af.
Not by choice. Number 6, C.J. Mosley. We both agree among the top linebackers in the NFL. I kind of thought the Ravens might franchise tag him. It did become a little bit expensive. They are going to try to re-sign him. He could still bounce, though. I mean, now the risk here for the Ravens is that it's a bidding war now for C.J. Mosley.
Yeah, and I'm actually kind of surprised. I think the Ravens are one of the better organizations that we've seen at building linebackers. And since they drafted him out of Alabama, he's been one of the best linebackers in the NFL. And I think he's the quarterback of that defense. And it's one of the reasons why I was really surprised that they, I think, let him go so easily. Like, I mean, I expected them to tag him. I really did. And now he's hitting the open market. And there's a lot of teams that need linebacker help, especially one who's going to rack up, I guarantee, over 100 tackles next year.
Yeah, and that's still very valuable there. So he could leave. I would like to see him stick in Baltimore. I think the Ravens want him back. And there's been a little bit of buzz about Terrell Suggs leaving too, which I don't necessarily believe. But if you need an interior linebacker, a Mike or a Will potentially, C.J. Mosley, I think, is a good fit there. Now, today's show is brought to you by BetDSI, the internet's #1 sportsbook. Head over to chatsports.com/bet to sign up and use that promo code LIVE120 for a 120% deposit bonus when you put down money. So, Mitch, you put down $50. They're going to give you $60 for free, and you're not going to find a better deal out there.
Not going to find a better deal. And you guys say all the time that Tom and I are idiots. Well, prove that you're smarter than us. Send a screenshot to your bets. Chatsports.com/bet. If you win, I'll throw you a retweet.
All right, number 5, Nick Foles. The first time we did this, he was not technically a free agent. He was under contract. Neither side had decided what to do with their options yet. The Eagles have announced they're not going to tag Nick Foles. In reality, they played it off as it's the right thing to do. We're going to let him go be a starter out there. In reality, they couldn't find a trade partner. That's what really happened. But now that he's going to hit free agency, he is the top quarterback. And I think you and I agree on where Nick Foles is going to end up.
Oh, we 100% agree. And we've already put money down. I've already put money down that he's going to go there.
Bet.
I put down $10. I'm going to win $27.50. If you'd been following us on Twitter at ChatSports or on the show here, youtube.com/ChatSportsTV, when you could have listened to us 2 months ago when we said, hey, go put money down on Nick Foles going to the Jacksonville Jaguars, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Locked in on Nick Foles at plus 350 going to the Jags.
Oh, easy
very
money.
Good odds right there.
Easy
I think he ends up there. The question, of course, is does that make the Jags again a contender in the AFC, given how badly things went last year?
Yeah, I still think that they are only a quarterback away.
Or maybe we look stupid and he ends up playing with the Miami Dolphins, and all of a sudden a week later we're all out there. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe the Redskins probably can't afford him, but
I think he's going to the Jags.
He's
pretty
going to the
confident in that. All right, and I think we're going to our next player now, and that's Trey Flowers. You want some flowers, Tom?
What kind of flowers?
Daffodils?
Okay, how is that the first flower you go to? Anyway, Trey Flowers, number 4. Exactly. The Patriots have their MO. They don't believe in paying any one player a big percentage of the cap. Trey Flowers, I think, is going to get $17 million this offseason per year.
He's young, he can get after the quarterback, and in today's NFL, that's really good. And I don't care what NFL it is, really solid. Tom, here are my top 5 teams for Trey Flowers. Initial thoughts.
I think Detroit makes almost too much sense.
It makes way too much sense.
Matt Patricia's there. They need a pass rusher. Trey Flowers can come in and is instantly perhaps your best defense lineman, even though there are some good ones on there already.
I put my money on Trey Flowers. Sorry, Raider Nation.
All right, number 3, Earl Thomas, who once allegedly $14 or $15 million to become the highest paid safety in the NFL.
Something we have in common.
I don't know if he's actually going to get that. Now, the Seahawks are not going to tag him. That much we know by now. But I am curious to see where he ends up going in the end. Because there's quite a bit of options out there. Maybe a team like the Ravens, Mitch, who we mentioned before, makes some sense. Because they now have a big
yeah, the Ravens are a team that needs him. I mean, you could also look at maybe the Texans. Now, I don't know if that team's going to necessarily make it now. I know he grew up there. For me, though, I want him to go to 2 teams. The 2 teams that I want Earl Thomas to go to are the reason why they're the top 2 teams on my top 5 list here. I want him to go to the Texans, and I know I accidentally have the Texans on there twice, but that's how much I want him to go there. So that's a mistake on my part.
I think what you meant to do was put the 49ers on there.
Yeah, I think so,
because they're an option, too.
That's on me, guys.
There you go. Nice mistake there.
It's getting late. I'm still hungover from the 6 beers I drank yesterday. And if you didn't watch it,
true.
Go check it out. YouTube.com/Raiders Report.
So there was the report the Cowboys weren't interested there in Earl Thomas because of the price tag, but that price tag was kind of buried, which is something we've said before. But I do think Earl Thomas is going to draw quite a bit of interest, as will the New York Giants safety Landon Collins, who they chose not to tag. And look, I think that if you don't want to pay a box safety, I actually understand that. My problem is, how did you botch this so badly?
Bingo.
You had trade offers for Landon Collins. Teams wanted him. You could have moved him for a 3rd-round pick. You could have shipped him out, gotten, let's just say, 90th overall back this year in a good defensive draft class, and found yourself some help. Instead, you're letting him walk, so at minimum, you're waiting for a worse pick.
Yep.
And by the way, you might not get one because you plan to spend money in free agency too. If you spend equal or more, just in terms of volume of good players, which if they sign DARYL Williams, there's no comp pick for them.
You're right.
They botched the hell out of it.
100%, Tom. So you see the screen up here, Collins versus Thomas since 2015. So you guess what? I'm going to ask you a question. Who's the better safety? Are you taking Earl Thomas or Landon Collins? And for everybody watching, whoa, way to there. ET for Thomas or LC for Collins. Tom?
It absolutely depends on what you want your safety to do. They are 1A, 1B for me. If you want a younger one, you go with Landon Collins. If you want one who's a better coverage man, you go with ET. If you want a guy to be your box safety who's young and a little bit more healthy than Earl Thomas, you go with Landon Collins.
If you want to know who I'm taking, hit me up at MitchellRenz365. It's going now to our number 1 player. It's Le'Veon Bell. We know he sat out all of 2018 season, and I think it might have cost him a little bit money because we saw James Conner be actually really freaking good with 12 touchdowns. Someone's going to take the risk on him. In my opinion, I think he's going to end up going to the New York Jets from what the reports are. He's the top free agent for a reason, a very talented running back, and I mean, the dude's produced when he's been on the field.
I am excited to see what happens to Bell. I'm curious if the Raiders get involved, and I'm very curious what his contract ends up looking like.
Yeah, I think
he wants a lot.
He wants about $50 million guaranteed. So if he's good enough to get $50 million guaranteed, I'm going to ask you, is he a top 5 running back right now?
If he gets $50 million, then I would assume yes. I would lean towards no because I haven't seen him in a year.
Just saying.
Otherwise, yes, but I haven't seen him for a year, so I'm not quite sure if he truly is a top 50 guy.
Totally fair. Let's go back through now our top 25 free agents. Adam Humphries, BRYCE, CALLAHAN, JAWUAN James, Bridgewater.
My boy.
Keep it moving. Smith, Brown, Sheldon Richardson, interesting name there. And you're going to head on in now to Paradis, KJ Wright, Golden Tate, Adrian Amos, and we'll finish it up here. And Sue, Joyner, Barr, the Honey Badgers, CJ Mosley, and then our top 5, Nick Foles, Trey Flowers, Earl Thomas, Landon Collins, and Le'Veon Bell.
Go figure, it is a free agency class full of stud defensive players.